So this one doesn't have any music in it. So y'all pretend that there's some great music. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, thanks for the awesome music bed, man. Hey, just doing a quick check because YouTube freaking rocks. So
Woo.
we'll see y'all in a bit. It's 9 minutes. It's gonna rock your face. I know that tonight. Whoa. I think we got something. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Make sure you guys have a fresh pair of underwear because it's gonna be one hell of a show. Doing another quick test. Check 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me okay? Please leave a comment below. Check out my awesome new office chair. It's a racing chair. What?
excited to be using, and I think you're going to really like it too. So back in March at Mobile Beat, I had a chance to talk with Michael Anderson. And a lot of you guys know him because he's been working alongside Randy Bartlett on updates to the 1% solution. But Michael Anderson has been doing this awesome DVD series that I'm actually going to be doing some videos on the 1% solution tools and what it is. It allows you to use your video projector for a monogram. And it's kind of a controversial subject because, you know, there's this opinion, there's that opinion, I have my opinion, but I'm going to give you guys a video real soon on that. There's some really great tools that even if you just use a traditional global projector, there's still some great ideas in that DVD and a lot of value in those tools. But more on that later. Alongside the DVDs, Michael had a projector mount. Now, almost everybody out there has some sort of projector mount, but there's something wrong with all of them, in my opinion. The one that I have uses like 20 million screws to put together. The other one that I have, you know, it just locks in nicely, but then it doesn't actually lock into the pole. The other one that I have doesn't actually hang from clamps. And then the other one I have, it just doesn't lock in properly, and it just doesn't allow me to switch projectors fast and easy. And honestly, I think Michael had the same issues because he found something that alleviates all of that. So let's go ahead and take a look. We got 3 individual pieces here, okay? We've got this mount. And this mount is really cool because if you notice, tons of holes everywhere. It's very simple. No matter what size of projector you have, this will align with it where you can put it on your projector and put the screws in. In the center is a little screw right there, or mount for a screw, which goes to this guy. So this guy here comes in 3 pieces. Our first part comes off, right? And this basically almost looks like a camera tripod, right? You've got this here. We're just going to lock this in. I'm not going to do it super tight. I just want to show you real quick here. All right. And then this guy locks in. There's a little button that you have to press. And basically that button prevents your projector from sliding off. Thank God. And then you lock it in. Versatility is key. And Michael Anderson really thought about that when he did the Living Motion Monogram's projector mount. Because see, some projectors actually do have a tripod mount. Actually, I have like 8 projectors to do. So we just mount the projector on there, lock it in, and you're good to go. Same way. Now check this guy out here, right? We've got this little screw. It locks into your stand nice and tight. All right. We've got this guy right here. It actually even shows you, you know, the angle that you have. So you have it straight on at 0 degrees. You can turn it 15, 30, 45. That's pretty neat, especially if you're going to be doing some precise lighting design. And then you can move this around. And there's 2 individual wing nuts for that. And there you go. Or thumb screws for that. You can have your projector directly down. That was it right there. Okay. When I saw it, I'm like, good. Because the other 2 mounts, you know, 2 mounts that I have that do almost everything I want them to do, only go like this. I'm like, well, that sucks. Because sometimes I need them to go straight down. And this guy could do it. And locks in. And once you lock it in, it ain't moving. So I really like that. But I do a lot of stuff from trussing. And I want to hang my projectors. So what happened is I had to buy some mounts for my truss. I had to buy some mounts to go on stands. That's twice the money that I'm spending. Not with this guy. So check this out. We're just going to take it. It's going to screw right out. It's an M8 bolt. So now I can just take a clamp. I'll use one of my Global Truss clamps. Mount it in. And there we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 9th giveaway of the Gear It First Fantastic Summer Giveaway. We are Daft Punk. And tonight's stream is going to be better, faster, harder, stronger? I can't remember. Guys, my name is Ronaldo Wolfman. I'm here with the super cool, awesome high five. Give everybody your name.
What's going on, guys? Mike Anderson here with Living Motion Monograms and the 1% Solution. How you guys doing tonight?
I don't think they can answer you. We're not that far into the future. I mean, they can, but we're not going to see them because we're wearing these ridiculous things. So this was literally put on like at the last second. That's why there was like 30 seconds of just all black. So, okay, a couple of things. Warn me before you turn it up. I'm wearing headphones. Well, we did. We said, okay, volume going way up. Somebody asked where the projector mount is for sale, as it literally tells you underneath the video. Guys, it's going to be a great show today. For those of you guys that have no idea what we're talking about, we're just talking about, poking fun at the people on the live chat. We're definitely been having a great talk so far about not killing rabbits, rabbits with A1 sauce, and yeah, that's pretty much been it. So let's get straight to it. Michael, tell everybody what you do.
I am a homeless DJ, and no,
that's redundant.
That's yeah. We're pretty much all just on the verge, right? No, yeah, actually, I own Creative Memories Entertainment in Sacramento, and I just been a solo op for the past. I've been doing this for 20 years now, and been a solo op for the past 15. And really got into lighting design and stuff really, really early on. But about 15 years ago, kind of got into realizing that you could do so much more with something like a video projector when it came to what, just the possibilities of what you could use it for at an event. You could do so much more than just showing a video montage. And so I really just kind of dove into, experimenting with it and learning what others have already discovered, and just started kind of bringing that to the DJ masses. And it wasn't too long ago, joined up 6 years ago about with Randy Bartlett of the 1% Solution. He's also in Sacramento here in my market, actually in my office now. And
so he's living in your office?
Pretty much,
okay.
Yeah. We got a little spot for him. He's on the verge of retirement, right? And so he's and together we ended up designing Volume 5, how'd they do that. And really it was a disc that was all about like how we pulled off these kind of random, unique, creative things you can do for weddings to make some incredible moments. And that was on Volume 5 is when we started explaining like, hey, you could use projectors to do things like instant slideshows and projecting monograms. And as soon as the monogram thing kicked off, that's when everybody started going kind of nuts with it. And I just, again, continued to find more and more ideas. And that's where Volume 7 came from.
That's
and it
awesome.
was just 11 other ideas you could use a video projector for to keep it off your shelf on the weekends and, making as much money as possible for you and your company.
The entire time you keep saying about Randy Bartlett living there now, all I can hear is him underneath the desk like, turn it down there. Actually, it's crazy because those that have like the original 1% Solution remember that, Randy really pushed the 1% being part of the performance. And the fact that years later, that 1% now includes stuff that you can do with your gear, not just what you can do as an MC, really shows the state of the industry, that the modern bride, groom, even corporate client, it's more now just about sounding good on the microphone. It's about bringing a whole multimedia experience. And those of you guys that saw the pre-roll, I mean, Michael, you really did that with the Tetris. Before we kind of get to the nitty-gritty things, let's talk about that Tetris video in the pool. For those of you guys real quick that haven't had a chance to see it, I'm going to go ahead and put that on while you talk about it. But yeah, just tell people a little bit about that Tetris thing, because that was pretty wicked cool.
Yeah, definitely. This was for one of my couples who, talking with them and really just interviewing my couples on who they are is what gives me most of the ideas I need for their event. And, for the two of them, it was, they both were. said, what if we had you guys like battle it out, at the wedding? Because we've done things like, I brought in a ping pong table before because the bride and groom's first date was at Scandia and they played, a game of ping pong, and the loser had to kiss the winner. That was the whole concept. So we brought one into the dance floor, uncovered it right after the introduction, and had them battle it out. But for this, we started going, we could have you guys battle out a game, and the first idea was actually to project this on the side of the building. And then I said, but you could always do it on a screen, but that's stuff that people have seen before.
Yep.
What if we turn the bottom of the pool into a giant Tetris game? And not only you guys, but your guests can come out and play each other, because again, it's a game that you can catch on to very, very quickly. It's, it's got to have that arcade-esque feel to it. Very simple controls, very pretty, intuitive, and something all the guests can pick up on pretty quick.
Hang on one second. Hold that thought. If you could just real quick, for some reason, YouTube gave me another freaking warning about the music. I don't know what's going on with this song. It was playing quietly in the background. Can you just tell people why you chose the video game part? They couldn't hear that part because it cut us off completely.
All right. So, yeah, the reason we chose the video game for this event was because the bride and groom themselves both design video games. And that's what they do all day for a living. And so I took that into consideration, asked them like where their passion for video games started. Mm-hmm. And they both actually said Tetris. And that's really where we kind of sparked the idea. Then it was, how are we going to present this? Because the one thing something you just said, it was the 1% solution is about performance, right?
Yeah.
Getting better results from your performance. It still is. Although now we kind of stepped into the technology side of this. This isn't about the gear. We as DJs talk about the gear a lot, but this is still about getting better results at your event, creating those moments, those wow moments, and making it less about the gear and more about the moment itself.
Absolutely.
And that's why, we still hide most of the gear as much as possible in this stuff, because it's about the guest being in the moment, being and knowing this significant part of their relationship.
Absolutely. And actually, that was something that was really interesting. Let's go real quick to the next video for just a moment. Because you mentioned, you really want the output, the overall experience to be shown, but you want to hide the gear. And I think this video here, the ABC meeting, really puts it in perspective. You don't see the projectors. First, though, before we talk about the projectors and where they're at, that ABC logo, is that an actual logo that's hanging, or is that a projection as well?
That's also a projection.
That is a serious contrast ratio on the projector. For those of you guys that don't understand contrast ratio, the better the contrast ratio, the better those darks are going to be. And it gives you that, I don't want to say 3D look, but it does give you a little bit of depth perception to your images. This is really important, especially if you're going to be video mapping buildings. But that's for a later live stream. Let's talk about this at ABC. Was this something you got paid to do? Was this something that you pretty much threw in because you want to show off? Somebody sees this, they're not going to want to go back to regular Gobo projections, for their ABC meetings. And where did you hide the projectors? Because you can't see them at all.
Right. So this building itself is that you're only seeing half the ballroom. What I'm actually projecting onto, and you guys all know what these are, air walls. Mm-hmm. They're covered in carpet. They're not the best projection material. They do not reflect light very well. But if it's a lighter color, they do a really good job at this. And for this meeting, this was a paid event, and they wanted to cover up the air wall because they were only using half the ballroom. And they could basically come in and do a bunch of pipe and drape. They could do all kinds of lighting, all kinds of stuff. And I said, before you guys spend all that money, let me pitch something to you. And came in. This was actually using two of the at this time we were using two of the Optima 50 EH501s. Just to the right of this, you kind of never see it in the video, but just to the right is this stage. And there's a stage, and so that's where I actually had the projector set up across the room. And then using something you are very familiar with, Grand VJXT, we're able to map the two projectors together and create one giant video screen. I call it my 80-foot 4K video wall.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to go over the projector that you like to use. And you mentioned the EH501. and I don't want to go too much into the software side since we're going to do a whole live stream about that later.
Right.
But after this stream is over, I do want to tell you some new things that are coming out for Arceus. The rest of you guys have to wait for the live stream to get a chance to gear it first. See what I did there? Let's talk about monograms. I mean, what has been the evolution of monograms with living motions, and how does somebody get started? I mean, it can't just be just a projector on a stand, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff they have to take in mind. So how do they really get started on it?
Most people are just they see it, they want to do it, and they just kind of get lost in the whole, like, okay, what you just said, where do I start?
Mm-hmm.
And the honest truth is, it's pretty darn easy to get started, at least how we've kind of set things up and set things in motion for you. But I think it is one of the first things is, you know, the design element of it. And, you know, if you have a video projector, people ask me all the time, oh, can you recommend projectors? I said, yes. I mean, I've used a ton of them. I can tell you what I use currently, and I can tell you the drawbacks of what I've seen from some of the other ones. But I haven't used all of them. I don't know. And what I want to use it for is different than what you want to use it for. So anytime someone asks me, like, what projector do you recommend? I first I need to know what you want to be able to do with it. Because you can do a very simple black and white monogram on the wall with pretty inexpensive projector. And if that's all you want to do, then that might be one of those choices for you. But if you're thinking about doing video or things during the day, we're going to have to go into more of the other, you know, higher end projection units.
Exactly.
And so I think, equipment is going to be important to have to get started, because there's all kinds of design services out there, and you know, that's the whole purpose of me starting Living Motion Monograms, the Facebook group, just to be able to help people out. I have my website, livingmotionmonograms.com, sells the monograms individually, like all the work and stuff that goes into it. But really, my goal is to put myself out of business on that. You know, I'm still constantly just trying to train people to be able to eventually do this themselves, where they don't have to rely on someone else to get a design done. Someone calls them and goes, hey, we say I want to do a monogram. Can we still do that? And you don't have to go, yes, might be a problem. I can't get one made in time, or I can't get this designed. I want you to be able to still make that money, still be able to produce that image, and, create those really wow moments at your events where people are just like, that's the main thing. You want the guests to go, I want that for my event, whether it's a wedding or corporate event or any other event you're doing. You can go, I want that. And they will call you on Monday morning and get you booked.
Exactly. Hang on one second. Let's give it a moment, because apparently YouTube's down. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, it says YouTube servers are having... Okay, that's great. Guys, give us just a moment. I'm going to try to switch servers real quick, and hopefully that'll help. Let's see. We are now back at 15 frames a second, so we should be good. Yeah, it's cutting pretty bad. Hang on one second. All right, looks like we're back in business here. All right, so, and if you guys have any questions, please make sure to start putting them in so we can answer. So, Mike, I'm going to be frank with you. As you know, and we've talked about this in person, I've never been a big fan of just using a projector for static gobos. You know, the way, and I've used them, actually I had to use it one time. I had one event where I completely forgot that there was a monogram there to begin with. Somebody didn't write the information properly. So thank God, you know, I had the projector. I made the design, had it all done in Arceus because we had to keystone the hell out of it. And we were good. Hang on one second. We're losing back down again. Hold on. Oh, my God. What is going on? There we go. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I'm going to step it down to like 480 if this doesn't work. But anyhow, you know, what I've learned is that if I'm going to use a projector, I might as well go all out. Do you see better success with a static monogram or something that's animated, something that you can keystone on the spot using a software like GramVG or Media Master versus using a card reader? Because I've seen people do both, but for me it scares me to use a card reader because I always seem to have to do last minute adjustments at the event.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge advantage to be able to do some adjustments at the event. Now, if you're just doing something like a static design, you can, some projectors have 4-corner keystone. It's a great feature to look for when you're purchasing a new projector, and that will allow you to do some variations, usually up to 15 to 30 degrees. And for those of you who just don't know what keystoning is, basically it's just being able to have it, if you're projecting straight on, you got a perfectly square image, and then if you start to go to the left or right, it starts to kind of like a flashlight shining on the wall. This lets you correct that without having software and stuff, but it's limited, and it's no comparison to being able to adjust keystoning like you can in the software that we use a lot. So that is a huge advantage. I can project from anywhere, and it takes me half the time to set up because I can put that projector anywhere in the room and hide it as much as possible.
Absolutely. So in a lot of your videos that we saw in the pre-roll, there was a monogram, and then there was something in the background. Did you do that live? Or do you just use or did you pre-made your video, excuse me, or do you just set up 2 individual layers?
No, what I do is usually the monogram itself will be its own layer, and then then I'll create, whether it's the motion background for it, and that motion background can pretty much do anything, whether it's fade in, fade out, or grow, or appear out of nowhere. But having them in those separate layers, I mean, if you think back to where we showed you guys that video wall of the ABC meeting, that had 4 different elements in it that I used. One was the snow background falling. The other one was the castle. That was a cutout PNG image. The other one was a wizard, and that was another, image itself. And then you saw the ABC logo, and part of the reason it looked like it was very almost 3D was because of the additional shadowing that I put in on just that element. So whatever it was on top of, it created, a nice shadow to give it a lot of depth in the design.
Of course. So basically we've talked about the projector, and it's really hard to find the right projector. But I think the one thing we can all agree on is that no matter what projector you have, it's nervous, or it's a nerve-wracking experience. And I've done, video mapping where I have to have the projector out somewhere where the crowd's going to walk. And I always worry about the projector being, knocked down by somebody. Where do you see yourself putting the projector? And how do you keep people, especially drunk people, from bumping into it?
Oh, in some cases you can. You're going to put it in the middle of the room. But most of the time, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put, the projector next to a pillar or next to a wall. If I have to shoot across the room itself. There's been times where, I have strapped the projector to a ceiling joist, and obviously making sure you've got safety cables on it, but it's amazing what you can make with a couple ratcheting straps that would safely hang a projector. But most of the time I'm having to shoot it from an angle, from an extreme angle, because it's a long, narrow room, and I got to be on the right side and project it to the center of the room and make that image look absolutely perfect.
Oh, absolutely. And then with the projector, I mean, do you put it on a tripod? Do you put it on a pipe and drape stand? What do you prefer using for that?
So the pipe and drape stands, they're pretty wobbly. I think you end up getting a lot of movement, and you get a lot of sway in your design on the wall that's it's being projected on. So typically, right now I use the Altman lighting stand. Got quite a few of those, and but if I'm going to be like upstairs, projecting down onto a floor, and I have the room and it's not a big deal, I use a simple tripod if I want to, if I need more height and stuff on it. So. But the Altman stand ends up working really great. And if I know it's a little bit higher traffic area, I'll throw a couple 25-pound sandbags on it, and put some nice linen on top of the bottom of the stand, just to make sure if someone kicks something, it's going to be a sandbag and not the stand itself.
Yeah, that's always been the part that's kind of worried me, is I always see a drunk person and I'm like, oh no, that projector's gonna get knocked. What if they don't knock over the projector? If it's video mapped perfectly to the wall and it gets bumped just an inch.
That's the part that's horrible too. It's like, So it was perfect, and now you've got like one projector that's just slightly out of wonk.
So
But having the right mount, lets you bring it back into the correct adjustment pretty quick.
absolutely. And then now, for those of you guys that don't know what's going on in the background, I actually don't give people the questions ahead of time. I like to catch them offhand because these people are experts, and you should be able to ask them something, and they should be able to have an answer ready to go. But sometimes they're not able to answer questions. Mike, this may be one you're not comfortable answering, and you're more than welcome not to.
Uh-oh.
On average, how much do you charge just for the projector mapping service? From something as simple as, let's say, projecting a video game onto a pool to video mapping two projectors, getting that edge blending just perfect. What has been your price range for that sort of thing? Not the DJing, just the projector mapping.
So and I like to put comparisons on what maybe they've seen. For example, the ABC meeting, that was an $800 projector mapping job. It was a pretty simple job. It only took probably about a half hour to set up. And there was probably about an hour worth of design work before that day. That if I'm doing something very simple, flat wall, not a lot of, programming, that tends to be, right around the price for say two projectors.
Of course.
When I start getting into doing a lot more edge blending and a lot more design work, then typically it's usually around $1,200 for two projectors when it comes, with some of the design work that we do. Here coming up in about 2 weeks, I'm doing one at a huge facility. We're using 6 projectors, and we're going to be doing video mapping about 150 feet down each wall.
Woo-hoo!
So yeah, it's a ridiculous. So I can't wait to share video footage of that.
That's going to be awesome. Hang on one second, Mike. I'm going to restart this stream and see if we can. Yeah, YouTube's really bad. Really bad right now. I don't understand what the hell's going on. Okay. All right, we are back in business, and it is literally dropping frames like nuts, but I think we're back to normal here. Okay, so basically, hopefully you guys can all see what's going on again. I apologize. I know some of you had choppy audio or video. I prefer choppy
YouTube's
video over
really
choppy
bad.
audio. Really bad. And it looks like we are okay. I'm trying to prioritize this. At least you can hear the audio. So basically, I mean, you were just talking about a serious price range. Almost the price. I mean, it's more than some DJs are charging for an entire wedding reception between DJ and uplighting.
Right.
I mean, I know what my market charges. I'm not a big charge of NIMBY, but I know my market, and I'm seeing DJs bringing themselves and uplighting for $395, and you're basically charging almost 4 times as much for some projector mapping jobs. Do you see yourself, or are you already doing just projector mapping where you're not being the DJ, you're just doing the video part?
No, not yet. Mainly for insurance reasons, as you guys discussed yesterday, I think, right? With Drax. No, it was 2 days ago. So 2 days ago with Drax. But it's if I'm doing the sound for it, I did I donated the sound service for the ABC meeting, and charged for the additional stuff. But yeah, it's mainly for my events. It's not something that I go off and do on my own. For those of you wondering like what the rate would be, like I'm using 6 projectors coming up in 2 weeks. That event itself with the design and the programming that I've done for it, it was a $2,700 add-on for just for the projection mapping. We're also doing uplights and spots and stuff too for the room, and a photo booth and the DJ service.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a and this was a client who started off by saying, I need a 3-hour DJ for my wedding, and said, yeah, no problem. Why don't you come on in? We'll meet and go over the info, and that's where it started.
So I want to talk because the other tough thing is obviously finding. Oh my goodness, are we dropping again? Okay, literally since you've been talking, we've dropped 1,500 frames. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah, it's not connecting to YouTube at all. All right, again, those of you guys that are tuning in, give me 1 second. We are gonna try one more, and I'm gonna try a different stream right now. We're gonna try another server. Oh, it will not let me switch. Of course, it won't.
Are you gonna on OBS?
Yeah, I can't. I was gonna try a 480 stream, but I can't without literally stopping the stream. And
no, but on OBS, if you drop it down to like 2,500 or on the.
Yeah, I did that already. I'm streaming at 240 right now. Let me. Hang on one second, guys. Again, I apologize. I don't know what the hell is going on. We're going to do video bit rate at only like 1,000 versus 2,000. Damn.
I don't care. I don't care if we have to do this by chat.
Yeah, no kidding.
Type everything in.
We are, well, this is the one that I'm like, we're so freaking excited about because this is something I love doing. So, okay, I think we're okay, and we are now at 0% on drop frames. We'll see how long that stays.
Yay.
So, all right. So, I want to talk to you real quick about these DVDs that I got. And I apologize, first off, that it's taken me this long to do a video on them. I've done a video on the, video review on the projector mount because I fell in love with it. And, I mean, tools I found to be really invaluable because I'm kind of seeing it from the perspective of somebody that's just getting into it. The hardest thing is, how do I, where do I get content from? I personally use video blocks for a lot of background content, especially when they do their $50 or $99 a year sale. Where do you get a lot of your extra content from?
So one of the first things I did when I first started doing this is I went to Google and I type, start doing Google searches for video content, free video content, royalty free. Royalty free is important, especially if it's, you have to look at all the rules and stuff for distribution. But that's kind of the goal, the secret to it. Now I also am a subscriber to Video Blocks. It's kind of changed recently in the past few years, so you kind of get less and less with their subscription. But
yeah, the After Effects templates are nice though.
Oh yeah,
for some things
they do have some really great After Effects templates. And it's not overly expensive. I mean, it's $100. I use it way more than that. It's worth way more than $100 to me because, I'll use stuff for the live stream stuff or for the background, images or video. Just they got some real fun, creative backgrounds on it that can be really useful for, especially adding motion to your designs. Especially when a client goes, I want to do this kind of theme. You can just type in purple.
Oh, absolutely.
Background, and it'll pop up with a bunch of them for that. But as far as some of the other services, I don't know. Have you noticed some of the? Are there any services that you currently use for?
I have Video Blocks. My son's really good with After Effects, so he's done some custom stuff for us. Believe it or not, some of the best loops I've gotten have been from promo only, especially back in the day when they had like DVDs. They used to have like a DVD would release once or twice a month with a bunch of backgrounds, and promo only still releases that. They have some good ones. And then on YouTube, free worship loops. There's a YouTube channel called Free Worship Loops. Great content there.
Oh, nice.
It's for church use and all that, but they have some beautiful Christmas stuff. As a matter of fact, I had one wedding where they wanted to project map the whole wall. And they had a monogram, and instead of using their monogram inside the room, we actually projected it outside because it looked so good by the big giant Christmas tree. And then I just copied their monogram, we put it on each one of the pillars and the projectors. And I was using short throw projectors, really bright short throw. So I was able to hit that wall and then parts of the ceilings, which had like little drop down sections. And I actually put their names circling around those areas when people walked in. It looked really cool. But at the end, the bride drops a bomb on me. Hey, can you play New York, New York? We're going to New York. Our whole family's from New York. Well, the whole background was nothing but snow falling. So I quickly went online. I got a picture of New York, a skyline, dropped it into my Archaea server, and then I just brought it in, with the snow on top, so now it looked like it was snowing in New York City. Literally pulled that out of my butt. Oh, my God, freaking YouTube. Now it's saying, we recommend use a stream bit of 2500 kbps. Guys, let me know how the stream is. I'm done with YouTube. Anyhow, but I mean, it came out really great. And that's one of the reasons why I had asked, if you prefer the software or the card reader, because while the card reader makes it easier, you can always pop in last minute, with the software. Another source that I've done of content has been just asking a photographer. I had one wedding. I want to see if I can put the photo of it, where basically it was all video mapping for the pipe and drape. They wanted to create like snowfall scenes for the grand entrance, and they had a special scene for like the father-daughter dance. Like they created this whole choreographed thing. But at the end, I asked the photographer, hey, do you have any photos of, the bride and groom that you have edited? So she quickly fired up the card while it was slow because people were just dancing, for that part. I'm trying to find it here. Megan and Sterling Mayer. And she edited the photo, gave it to me, and I dropped it on the pipe and drape. And what happened is, because that's where it was all projector mapped, as soon as that came on, people just stopped dancing, and they were looking at like, oh, that is the coolest thing. So I just did it on the live stream. Well, I will in a second, so we can actually see it. Hang on. And then watch YouTube say, no, you can't.
Yeah. There'll be something on there.
So there it is. I mean, just using lighting and then the video. And it's actually 2 projectors because we had to hit the top and the bottom with edge blending. For those of you guys who have no idea what the heck edge blending is, we're going to cover that in a later stream. But at a wedding, yeah, I definitely go with the photographer to give me some live video content. I have also popped like a small webcam, and I'll have the webcam up high, not really to get live videos of people dancing because you can't do much with a webcam, but then I can use some of the special effects in Arcadis to create like the really trippy kaleidoscope effects that are reacting to people dancing. So that, and YouTube cut us off again. You gotta be kidding me. All right, I think, yeah, it literally just...
Try in okay. So in OBS, did you drop it to 2500?
No, it was already at 2500.
Okay.
And I'm at 1000 now. It's saying, oh, you need to bring it back down to 2500. I'm like, oh, you need to suck it. Okay, I think we're back to normal now.
We'll avoid playing videos.
Yeah, clearly.
Seems to be where the problem is.
Well, even a static photo, it just basically killed it. But anyhow, so I mean, I've done with the webcam, just try to get stuff of people, dancing, just for that movement. And then of course, if I'm on my Mac, I have created some quartz effects on my own. But that's really been it. So that's where it kind of leads me to this. So, with the 1% solution projector stuff that you had sent, there were actually a couple DVDs, and I wanted to cover what's on each one. So you can, kind of tell everybody, especially whether they do the online or they can still order a physical media, correct?
You're correct. Well, it's on the tools itself. I just do a download, unless we're selling them at the conferences, and then basically I give them a blank disc because part of the updates that I do, that's something that I've included since day one, is that whenever we do Monogram updates, which the last one wasn't too long ago, but that brought us up to 50 designs on the disc that once you buy the disc, you get the updates free for life. So, that has just been something where, I just wanted, it's kind of added value. Now the price of the disc has gone up, and it'll continue to go up every time we add more designs.
Of course.
So it's always smart to get it in early and get it for the least possible price.
I know you have newer stuff since these two, but let's talk about what's on here real quick. First of all, you have the 1% solution right here. There we go. I'd post a video, but it'll probably just make YouTube crash. And it says projectors. And in the back, it says this DVD includes instructions for custom light shows, exciting new shadow entrance, new twist on bride and groom trivia. So this is a lot more than just projector stuff. So what all exactly, let's say in like a 30-second nutshell, what comes with the projectors DVD?
So on the projectors DVD, it's 11 other things you can use your video projector for besides shooting monograms, because we covered that in volume 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just 11 other ideas that you could use them for to keep them rented out. Now when I was saying, like, on there it says creative light show, that's actually creating a light show using your video projectors, so that every week you can have a different effect or a different feel. We'll share a link to a promo video on what that looks like as well, maybe later. But and things like creative new ways of using your projection in order to do things like the top 10 list or the Shuliwood game. That's pretty much what that disc is about, and it's creating those really cool moments for the events by using equipment we already have sitting on our shelves. And if it's not going out for doing a slideshow or for doing a monogram, motion design on the wall, then you want it out for other things that weekend. You want it to. I was actually just looking the other day, and I did this year. I'm going to be doing probably 43 events, and there was a 27, maybe 26 of them, all had projection.
Wow. That's a good chunk.
It's 26 had projection, not necessarily just a monogram. Some did video, some did, video walls, some did all kinds of stuff. But do you think I made my money back on the projector I, bought?
Yeah, no kidding. So
for me, the benefit was that I only needed, the one projector to be able to do that, because I knew it would work for, any situation. And that's kind of why I push quality over price a lot.
absolutely. And then this one, the Tools 2.0, is pretty much an entire kit. I mean, you have 32 Photoshop Monogram templates. So that means even if you're using traditional Gobo projectors, this could still be of value, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In fact, you can use the designs themselves and then send them over if you're using a Gobo projector. And you just had Pro Gobo on the other day. And you can send the artwork to them and have a glass one made. One of the big benefits that I started up for this now is that if you're using this disc or using even the Living Motion Monograms website to, actually do the edits for you, either way, you could still, I have another website called pickmymonogram.com that you send your clients to. And all these designs are on that website. And it's, doesn't have any pricing or branding on it. So it just, to the clients, it feels like it's another one of your websites. They call you back and say, I want number 23. I want number 42. And you open that up, you make the changes, you hit save, and you send them a proof. Once they approve it, send it either off to get made or then you just, you already did your job. You saved it as a JPEG. I mean, that's how ridiculous this is. I mean,
no, it's a starter kit, because I see you also get the PowerPoint Monogram templates. Let's talk about that for a second. So how would somebody use the PowerPoint Monogram templates?
So if you don't have like software and stuff or Photoshop and you want to kind of start getting into it and playing, that's kind of why I also put in 20 Photoshop templates on there, because a lot of people know how to use Photoshop and, the PowerPoint templates, because a lot of people do know how to use PowerPoint. And if that's, what they're more comfortable with to get started, then they can start playing, using this as a toolkit, start playing around and practicing for events in the future. So yeah, it's even with the PowerPoints. So yeah, that disc now is 3.0, and it's no matter what, if you've got the disc, you can always get the updates. You just have to email me basically a selfie of you and your disc. Like, hi.
That's
yeah,
that's great. That is an awesome verification method. Selfie, please, with a picture of today's paper. And I mean, it has. I mean, obviously, it goes above and beyond. It even has, for example, I see dancing on the clouds photos, so people can use it for their marketing if they don't have those photos yet.
Yeah, I mean, we set up the website for marketing for you, but the other main thing is to give you marketing material to be able to put on your website. We give you the photo, credits in order to permission to use them on your website, on your literature. If you're using those, I just ask you put your own company logo on it to protect the images for the people who are Tools Disc owners. And I think probably the next update I do is going to be even a more additional promotional photos and video for people to use as well. So, I'm kind of trying to put myself out of business almost, because it really is, for me, it's about getting people step by step to that point. Don't try and take it all on, in one swoop, and otherwise you're just going to get stressed out. And
yeah, it's bad. It was like a 1 frame per second. I may have to kill the audio or video. All right, guys, we are back, I think. If this continues happening, we are going to kill the video and just do audio, and that may be what we wind up doing. So actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and I'm going to kill the video. Mike, are you okay with that? People will not see your pretty face.
Oh,
I know, right? But we have a whole bunch of questions and everything that came in. I would love to get some of those answered. So let me kill the video for just a moment. And guys, those of you that are watching, if you can let me know how it sounds from your end, and we'll kind of go from there. So, Ian, no, we're not. We don't have time to redo shows. I don't think you understand how many prizes we still have. So we don't know what's going on. I mean, just so you guys can see on my analytics, which is right. Well, I guess I can't show you. Just kill video. It says stream status bad. YouTube is not receiving enough video. I just went on my up speed test, and I'm uploading at 50 megabits a second. OBS is streaming at 2500 kbs after I just restarted it, and it's been fine. I don't know what the issue is. It definitely seems to be YouTube more than anything else. So let's go ahead and answer some of these questions, because there's actually some good ones. And actually, one of my favorite ones that came in, Mike, is from, let's see here. Hang on. It's from Chris Davies. What is the best way to pitch this to an unsure client? And by the way, I'm going to kill my video going to you to try to save as much uploading as possible.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So still buffering with audio. Yep, sounds just clipped out. What about now? Jesus, what is going on today? Refresh your channel. This is all sorts of messed up. We are gonna have to do a much longer version of this.
Yeah, can we get hashtag refresh in the chat there?
Yeah, hashtag refresh.
That'll refresh the stream for us if you don't mind. Just hashtag refresh.
Yeah, I'm watching it on mine too, and it's bad. I need to ask John if he's having issues. I just put a hashtag that has a 4-letter word about YouTube. So let me see real quick. Let's go ahead and answer some of these. All right, good. Now it seems to be streaming okay. So it's definitely not what I'm uploading. It's just YouTube in general. There's not much I'm going to be able to do. So, okay, so Chris Davies, what is the best way to pitch this to an unsure client?
If you're just trying to pitch, I'm like, oh, it's really pretty. You got to start from the beginning. Typically, I don't sell this. I let it sell itself. So before I meet with a client, I find out their names. I find out the last names. I find out colors for their weddings. I find out any themes that they have that they've already got planned. Most of the time, they don't have a theme.